The silence of the ranch evening was shattered by a scream. "Get off this property! My boy requires it more than you." I was standing near my barn, beads of sweat on my forehead after a day of mending fences. My soil-stained hands clenched my shovel more firmly, and then came the red and blue lights. Two sheriff cruisers rolled into my gravel driveway. A deputy stepped out, his expression stern. "Sir, there was a complaint from a homeowner in the local HOA. She claims you're trespassing on this property, claims it belongs to her son." I blinked. "What?" Out came Vanessa Caldwell from a gleaming silver SUV, hands on hips, sunglasses perched like a crown. Her voice echoed. "My son's a computer whiz kid. He requires this ranch living. You're a squatter. The HOA voted you off." I nearly dropped my shovel. "Excuse me, voted?" Vanessa's eyes flashed. "Pack up. Justin's coming in next week." The deputy adjusted, clearly uneasy. "Ma'am, that's not how property law is. You can't just—" She growled. "He's old, alone, probably illegal." I held their stare, voice firm but biting. "I built this house with my own two hands. I own it, deed and all." Vanessa crept in close, low and menacing. "My lawyers will ruin you." As the deputy pulled me aside to examine my ID, I knew this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was war. "I am Ethan Morrow. I'm 63 years old, a retired firefighter, widower, and rightful owner of Cedar Hollow Ranch, 25 rolling acres, a vineyard, 3 horses, and 2 goats, Jasper and Buck, who nuzzle like old friends. Having rescued people's lives in Reno for 30 years, I bought this land with the life insurance proceeds from my late wife Clara, who passed away from cancer. She would always desire this: wildflowers, quiet, peace. I made it happen. I installed trails, fixed neighbors' gates, baked peach pies that can reduce a man to tears. Then, 5 years ago, there was a flashy HOA complex down the street. Big houses, bigger egos. I was out of their league, so I tuned them out. That ended when Vanessa Caldwell arrived with her son Justin, a 30-something computer nerd with silk shirts and no integrity. Vanessa wielded entitlement like a dagger. At my first encounter, she scowled at my boots in a grocery store parking lot and grumbled, "Why do they allow riffraff near us?" I dismissed it until the warning notices. "Fence is against HOA rules. Goats interfere with yoga classes half a mile away." I tuned it out. Then the photo shoots began, Vanessa photographing in front of my gate. "I have plans for this property," she sneered. "I own it," I said. "Not for long," she grinned. 2 weeks subsequent, deputies came back again, after Vanessa had called 911. She accused me of squatting. Her son Justin supposedly owned Cedar Hollow. I showed them my deed. They nodded and left. Vanessa seethed. "I'll call the HOA, a senator, the news. Justin needs this for his stress." I'd fought burning fires, but this woman was a force of destruction, unmatched by any fire I'd ever faced. The next morning, a forged eviction notice appeared. My name, faked. A counterfeit signature claimed I'd sold the ranch to Justin. My stomach dropped. I called Tom Rivera, an old poker buddy, former detective turned PI. "That's felony fraud, Ethan," he growled. "Keep everything. I'm on my way." Tom arrived, examined the fake HOA stamps and bogus notary signatures, and got to work installing cameras. That night, my gate cam buzzed. Justin invaded the property, pointing at my lilac section. "Tesla charger goes there. Barnes My Tech headquarters. Vineyard, VIP retreat facility." "This is my property," I told him. "Step foot on it again and I'll have you arrested." He photographed himself and was gone into the dark. Additional HOA reps showed up within days, clipboards and confused smiles in hand. Vanessa said you're rezoning the ranch for a wellness park, one stammered. I flashed the fake eviction notice. She lied. Evening came. Vanessa's SUV slowed in front of my gate. Her smile was a dagger. I compiled every document, every photo, every cam clip into a fat blue binder. Then came a county letter, a zoning request filed under Justin's name to convert my land into a public wellness center for a state grant. Tom and I sprinted to the courthouse. Clerk Andy had it tagged immediately for fraud. Tom warned they'll retaliate. 911 that evening again. Elder abuse, hostage. Officers caught me drinking tea on my porch. They backed off, looking embarrassed. Vanessa gestured from her SUV, holding a mug. The morning after, chainsaws. 3 men in vests hacked my fence, getting ready to post a sign. Justin Caldwell Eco Sanctuary, coming soon. Stop, I shouted, recording them. Who did you hire? Vanessa, HOA. Said you signed. Forgeries. Leave or get arrested. They fled. I recorded everything. Tom cursed. They ran you thousands in vineyard damage. I retained a lawyer. Julia Kent, gritty, persistent. She had the binder nearby. We'll file a cease and desist, fraud charges, and civil lawsuit. The fence was strengthened, cameras doubled, sensors were installed. Other residents showed up. Some, like Laya, apologized. She lied to us, Laya admitted. We're pulling her off the board. But Vanessa wasn't done. A week before court, I was served with a lawsuit. $450,000 for allegedly blocking Justin, the rightful owner. Court in 10 days? Then a drone buzzed over my barn. Tom swatted it away. The video recorded me feeding goats, overlaid with Vanessa's voice. Film him mad, get him to look crazy. Justin chipped in. Push him until he cracks. Call him violent. Tom smiled grimly. We've got their plan. Then, 3 days before court, Vanessa camped by my gate. Lawn chair, picnic basket, watching. Then came the final blow. Arson. Get out, old man, scorched in red paint across my barn. Tom found Justin's tire tracks. I paved over the threat. My resolve hardened. Then Justin arrived, alone, trembling, holding a pistol. I'm not going to fire unless you do, he panted. Mom promised us this ranch. I sold the land to investors. My business is wrecked. I moved slowly forward, my voice firm. That's a felony, son. This land is mine. You're not your mother. Drop the gun. Save yourself. His eyes overflowed with tears. He dropped the gun and fled, breathing shallowly. She won't stop. Court day came. Julia unleashed hell, forged papers, drone shots from the air, fake zoning petitions, even a Justin confession. HOA President Paul Grant introduced a letter regarding Vanessa's harassment of others. The judge slammed down the gavel. All claims dismissed. Restraining order issued. Charges pending for forgery, harassment, and intimidation. Outside, Vanessa was cuffed. I saved my son, she screamed. Neighbors applauded or cried. Others called her a crazy mother. Others saw the truth. Vanessa's HOA post was occupied. Justin disappeared. Seattle, they said, was where he was headed. I fixed my fences. I restored the vines. Jasper and Buck stood watch. A news crew interviewed me. The goats trended. Mail poured in. Wishes, threats, questions. Then a note. I was blind. Pride gave a blind eye. You showed mercy. I am changing. Justin weeks went by and he returned, humbled. We planted grape seeds together, broke the soil. Nothing was mentioned about Vanessa. I didn't ask. She attended probation and service. Some pitied her. I didn't. I just let out a sigh of relief. Today, Cedar Hollow flourishes. Children plant gardens. Veterans tell stories under Clara's oak. We socialize, grill, and reminisce. At Clara's grave, I whispered, we held on, love. Justin waved at the vineyard. Next spring, I nodded. Peace, fought for, earned. Was Vanessa an villain or a desperate mom? Did I shut down a dream or save a legacy? If someone came for your home, what would you do? Cedar Hollow remains mine.